actually had a lot of students come to me having had experiences in the past where they've shot and had pain in this joint. So I just wanted to talk about that, about what might be the cause of it, what might be some remedies for it. Some of them can be fixed, some not. So let's just discuss it a little bit. Various handguns are made with the safeties, the manual safeties in different locations. And sometimes the way the gun is constructed and the placement of the safety can actually dig into that joint, even with a proper grip. Okay, so a proper grip on the firearm is going to have your firing hand high in the back strap, and the thumb's going to be in a high position so that it's ready to operate the manual safety. The other hand's going to come in right under it, and once the safety is disengaged, the thumb should just lay right on top of the other thumb. Now, this handgun is designed in such a way that that's perfectly comfortable. Okay, perfect. However, my SIG P938, you can see the location of the safety mechanism. When I take a proper grip on this gun, after the safety is disengaged, when I fire this little gun, that safety actually digs right into the side of my thumb. It causes a good amount of pain. After I've shot about 100 rounds, I've got a little swollen spot right there. It's not extremely comfortable, and that's one of the reasons why, because of the placement of that safety. Here's another little gun, and we rarely shoot this little guy, but the placement of the safety mechanism causes the same problem. With a proper firing grip, that safety is actually dug right into the side of my thumb. And you can see that. Now, this pain is not in the joint. It's just in the side where the safety actually digs. So this is a little bit of a different issue. So if you're having pain in your thumb, we need to distinguish what part of the thumb you're having pain in. So if you're having pain in the side of the thumb, it could be from the placement of the safety mechanism. And that's something to look at. Something that I have started to do when I'm shooting guns that are designed in such a way that the safety digs into my hand, like this one, if I'm just going to shoot 50 rounds, not a big deal. I can handle that, that discomfort to keep a normal grip. But if I was going to shoot this gun a lot, what I would do is just take this thumb that typically lays on top, and I would just lock it around the thumb of my support hand. That gets that safety out of my thumb, so it doesn't cause pain. I could shoot a lot longer this way, and it's not an extreme modification of my grip. It doesn't cause any problem with the control of the gun at all. In fact, this is a technique that some ladies use when they're shooting guns that feel like they're going to jump right out of their hand. You can take that thumb, drive it forward, and take this thumb and lock it in. It actually can help that jumpy feeling a little bit. But this is something that I've done to try to keep that safety mechanism from digging into my thumb if I'm going to shoot a lot of rounds. And here's what's going on. Ladies are shooting guns that are possibly too big for them. In other words, the distance from the back strap to the face of the trigger is too long. So they're actually canting the hand around to the side. Here's a good example of one. When this gun is decocked and the trigger's fully forward, if I take a good firing grip on this gun, it's a little bit difficult for me to get a full face trigger contact with a normal grip. So my tendency is going to be to cant the hand around to the side in order to reach the trigger, which places my thumb directly behind the gun. So when I shoot in this position, I hope you can see this well, if I shoot in this position, I'm actually going to have pain in my thumb because the recoil is going into my thumb rather than into the webbing and back into the bone structure of the arm. And I've discussed this previously in a video about choosing a handgun. So if you've already seen this video, this might be a little bit of a review. But we do need to make sure that the gun is placed directly into the webbing of the hand, no matter which gun it is. It needs to be directly into the webbing, like this. If I cant the hand around to the side and get the thumb behind the gun, no matter what gun you're shooting, it's going to eventually cause pain. A 22 might not. So, but any caliber bigger than that, you're probably going to have eventually pain in that joint. It also causes a problem with getting a proper grip. If I've got my hand canted around to the side and I try to bring the left hand in, this thumb is sticking out in a very awkward position, and it's hard to actually get it sealed into the side of the gun. You'll see that from this side a little bit better. If I cant that around to the side and I try to put this hand in there, this thumb's just kind of out in no man's land. It really doesn't have a good, comfortable place to go. So if you can get that webbing of the hand as high in the backstrap as you can get, and make sure that thumb is fully on the side of the gun, you should be able to put the meat of this thumb directly under it, and those thumbs should fall together very comfortably. This also is a problem with revolvers. A lot of ladies shoot small, snub-nosed J-frame revolvers, and a lot of times they're hammerless. If it's not hammerless, cocking that hammer can bring that trigger way back and make it much easier to reach without having to cant the hand around. But if you do have a revolver where you have difficulty, and I actually have little difficulty reaching the trigger fully on this one, it may just not be the right gun for you. If you have to cant that hand around behind the gun like this in order to fire it, that's just not the right gun for you. And that is what it's doing, is that recoil is pushing back on that thumb. It's actually taking that thumb and pushing it like this in a very unnatural angle. And that's just never going to be comfortable. There's really no way you can make that comfortable. Okay, I hope that that was helpful. A nice centered alignment with the bone structure of your arm with the thumb fully on the support side of the gun is going to help a lot. Hopefully that will make it a more pleasant experience for you next time you go to the range.